How's it going, everybody? I'm Brooks,
I'm Joe.
and this is another episode of Cantina Reviews.
Today we're talking about what we might expect from a Boba Fett solo movie. So there are articles floating around right now. People are saying Disney confirmed it. I don't see anything saying that Disney did confirm it.
Mm-hmm.
But the articles floating around are that there's going to be a Boba Fett solo movie. Like Boba Fett by himself.
Okay, that's what I was confused about. I was like,
there's gonna
wait, so like Boba Fett and solo movie?
I mean, it could be, but we'll get to that.
Probably.
A Boba Fett Star Wars story directed by, I think it's James Mangold, the director of Logan. I am not sold on the idea of a villain, main character movie yet. There are a lot in production and coming out.
Okay.
It's probably not the best idea to do this, but I feel like what's going to put me in the right mood for Boba Fett or not might be Venom. The Venom movie coming out?
Yeah.
Because, like, I just don't know about the idea of, like, a villain
Strictly
as the main character movie. Because, like, the whole point of a villain is, like, being the foil to the hero.
Yeah.
And, like...
He's, like, the reason why there's a movie.
Right. And, like, do we need a story about how Boba Fett wanted to leave the bounty hunter pass behind, and he falls in love, and the girl is evil, and...
Yeah, something like that.
And it makes him evil.
And he's evil, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Because it's not like... I feel like he's, like, another one of those, like, Deadpool-level characters. Like, the people that like him love him.
Yeah.
So it's like... Deadpool's an anti-hero. Boba Fett is not.
Right.
He's just...
Right. Boba Fett was a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's, like, no gray area.
And there's way more, like... There's a way more background to Deadpool. There's comics and...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Boba Fett, there's nothing.
Yeah, it's like he's literally a bounty hunter.
Right.
And he's trying to kill our heroes.
Right. And that's it.
That's
and it's
what
like,
it is.
he makes for, like a fun scene in Empire when they're flying through, or, like, when they're in Cloud City and he shoots at Luke. And that's, like, all he does.
Yeah.
And then he gets eaten in Return of the Jedi.
It's cool, like, the little backstory, like, you're given when, like, him as a kid.
Yeah.
I think there's more backstory with him in Rebels, isn't there? Like, when he's with those other bounty hunters.
I don't know.
Or was that Clone Wars? I think that was Clone Wars. When he's with, like, the other bounty hunters, and it's like, oh, this is how he gets his start.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you get a little bit of background, but, yeah, not like we're Deadpool. It's like, there's been comics for decades.
I think, like, my problem is, like, even though I really ended up liking Solo, I want them out of this time period already. Like, I'm like, kind of over it.
And show me something new.
Yeah, like, I don't need all of these, like, gaps that I didn't know were there being filled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
especially with, like, just post, like...
The Revenge of the Sith, New Hope era. In between.
Right, yeah.
Like, does this really need to just be explored this much?
Yeah, I know. Like,
because, like, we know we're getting an Obi-Wan, and then, like, a Boba Fett. So, like, realistically, it's like, okay, so we already had Rogue One and Solo, and then there's going to be Episode 9, and then there's going to be, like, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and, like, another Solo, and, like, whatever. And it's like, you could do anything.
yeah, exactly.
And I guess, like, you want to play it safe. You want to play up on IP that people know. I get it. But, I mean, with Solo kind of flopping, like, that might not necessarily be the case.
I was going to say, I think people want to see something different.
Yeah.
They want to keep seeing, like, these characters that they've already been seeing for every other movie.
Right.
It's like shit like Rogue One, like, people liked it and it did well because it was different.
Right.
There wasn't the same characters or anything like that.
And there is other stuff that, like, we know, but that hasn't been explored in the movie.
Right.
Like, people want Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
And that would be awesome. And there's all these, like, old Sith Lords, and there's, like, all this stuff you could do. Or even just, like, give us a Star Wars movie, like, 1,000 years into the future.
Like, totally super different. Far.
Like, totally different.
Where, like, Knights of the Old, like, how Knights of the Old Republic is, like,
way
mentioned now.
Yeah.
It's, like, they're mentioning our stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or, yeah, just show something before.
Right.
Or, like, even then, like, I liked the Clone Wars era.
Yeah.
Not that I like the movies all that much, but I feel like the era was
I like
cool.
the idea of the era.
Like, like there's a huge
and, like,
war.
You, like, saw, like... I mean, I'm not
oh, Jesus.
I mean, obviously, I'm not a fan of the prequels, really. But I like all the stuff that came with them, like, all, like, the new stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and it made it feel like it was something different, even though, like, the story and the acting, just, like, kind of sucked. Right. But, like, the era, like you said, and, like...
I like the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah.
Just because, like, it was about the Clone Wars.
I always say, and I never finished the cartoon, but I always say that Anakin Skywalker is at his most likable in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah, it's the most development you
far.
see of him, like, the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just like that time period. Like, I thought it was a cool time period. Like, as the Clone Wars cartoon shows, like, stuff's happening.
Yeah.
Show us that stuff.
And it's like, and like Rian Johnson's trilogy is supposed to start in like 2020 apparently. I just hope it's just something totally different.
Yeah.
But like, if they really do like Obi-Wan and Boba Fett and another Solo and like all that kind of stuff, like we're getting it. We'll be getting well to like the 10-year mark of when they started. Like Disney started Star Wars, and they have only given us 2 movies so far that are outside what we already know.
Right.
And even then, like Force Awakens is like arguably very similar to A New Hope, and like even Last Jedi, picking up on those beats, it's still like fairly familiar stuff.
Right.
You could do whatever you want.
I was gonna say, out of the 4, with 6 possibly that we know of.
Yeah.
The only one that was different was Rogue One. It's like we just this is how we got. Well, no, it was like just explaining something. It's like we already know Han Solo.
Yeah.
We already know, So Last Jedi, Force Awakens, they're different because they're their thing.
To me,
like
Rogue One is part
Obi-Wan,
of my
Boba
plan.
Fett. No, Rogue One. It's like, okay, they got the plans. How they get the plans? Whereas it's like Han Solo,
it's
we
the
see
same
Han Solo.
thing. It's the same era. It's the same.
Same era, but it's different in the fact that it's not something we've already seen. We've already seen Han Solo. We've already seen Obi-Wan. We've already seen Boba Fett.
We've already seen the
Stop
Death
showing me new
Star.
stuff.
We've already seen Tarkin.
Yeah, but like we don't know how they get the
Vader.
plans. We don't know where this stuff came from.
To
See,
me,
I think that's where we differ because I
yeah,
really liked
like
Rogue
Rogue
One.
One.
You didn't.
To me,
that's why it's like.
To me, that's
like,
part of the like, what like small opening in the plot can we fill in? Like they've done that now twice. Like do something else.
Right. Yeah.
And I include like Rogue One into like going into the backstory, and I like Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dislike it, but like I include that in just going in and filling in these gaps that don't
during that
necessarily need to be movies.
Right. Yeah. So it's like.
If you're gonna
they got the plans.
like they've done it twice already,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're gonna do it at least 2 more times.
Right.
Unless like miraculously Boba Fett takes place after Return of the Jedi, which would be so much more interesting.
Yeah, but doubtful.
But doubtful. So really, it's like I just mean like now they've done that twice. Like get out of this.
Is he still alive?
I think in the Legends he was.
Right, but like.
Yeah.
So because they're making a Boba Fett movie, can we assume possibly that they are actually going to bring him back?
I would much rather have it be after Return of the Jedi.
And so would I.
Yeah.
To once again just get out of that time period.
Yeah.
I feel like the time period they should be focusing on is from Last Jedi to Force Awakens. Not Last Jedi. Return of the Jedi to Force Awakens.
The problem is like so now I don't really know what the problem is because my impression when we would talk about that stuff was they don't want to give anything away that could give away the Last Jedi twists.
Right.
But like The Last Jedi didn't really go into really what happened with Ben and Luke. It was like
it was a building movie.
So then I was like, so why are they so secretive about this gap in between? Like,
right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So hopefully when whatever
I feel like you could do
is,
so much in between that.
That's what I'm saying. So hopefully when the next one comes out and it's done,
right?
They can now start filling in the gap between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Yeah,
which is what I would want to see.
Right, because like JJ can still come in and like tell us who's Snoke and like how did he get there, and like really I wanted like the Luke Ben thing to be much more fleshed out than it was. It was just like this very brief scene.
Right.
It was basically like what we already saw in the commercial of just the temple burned down. That's it.
Yep, that was it.
Like you said, once 9 is done, hopefully this opens the doors to do stuff in between.
So it's like you can go forward, you can go back,
right?
But just get out of this already been done type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it would be cool to see Clone Wars, but at the same time, it would be cool to see anything.
It would be
else
cool to
where
see
we're at.
Clone Wars.
Yeah,
yeah. Like,
I would want like a
good
live
Clone Wars movie.
action, like complete. Like they always talk about, like in the Legends. There's like a series of books that are all about like the clone commandos that like do the cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's like it'd be cool to see a live action movie about them
cool.
doing like badass like special forces stuff. Like that'd be cool.
And I feel like
a Star Wars war movie.
Star Wars fans are itching for that.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue One like kind of gave a nice taste of that. And like Rogue One had great action.
Mm-hmm.
Really great action. And I just think for me like the story wasn't that great. Or the characters weren't that great.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of character
The action and like the spectacle of it was awesome. Han Solo movie, like even people that don't like it, really thought that scene where he's in the war was cool.
Right.
So like do a cool Clone
Wars.
Wars
Show stuff outside of the main storyline.
Yeah.
What's happening elsewhere?
And you could call it
Who's
the Clone
doing
Wars
what?
because Episode 2 is called Attack of the Clones, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a lot more things they could explore. As far as talking about the Boba Fett movie itself, I could give a shit.
Yeah.
I really like Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But I could give a shit if they give him his own movie.
I think like you might as well just do like Solo 2 and Boba Fett's the villain.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so like to kind of sum it up, I just think like if they're gonna do one, do it after Jedi, which they might
definitely.
not. But,
I mean, I just hope if they do a Boba Fett movie, it better be good.
oh yeah.
Because if you mess that one up, people are really gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Like, people are already upset about Han Solo.
Yeah,
like,
they're already upset about everything.
But the ones that are gonna be upset about Boba Fett are gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Like it's not like Han Solo's okay.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh. So yeah, definitely check out more of our reviews, more of our theories, ideas, things like that.
Yeah.
Product reviews.
There's plenty to talk about as far as Star Wars goes, so that'll be a lot.
There will be a lot of that.
Yeah.
Especially as, Ant-Man nears, there'll be more Marvels.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm Brooks,
I'm Joe.
and this has been another episode of Cantina Reviews.
Go, 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 go.
So yeah, like you said, like